Hello, assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings to all of you. Welcome back to another episode of NeoFly. I've got a flight all queued up for us. We'll be heading back down to Wyoming to the Worland Municipal Airport, where we will lay over and begin our trip to the south for the winter. It's a bit of a long flight this afternoon of 140 miles, but I'll keep the video short so you guys don't get bored. If everything goes according to plan, it's a $13,000 mission, so I'll go ahead and get that ready to go, and then we'll get the plane started, and we'll be on our way. We got a clean engine start, so we'll go ahead and get our avionics on, make sure we're broadcasting our transponder. Get our flight control check, left aileron, right aileron, elevator up, elevator down, left rudder, and right rudder. Flight control check complete. Get the parking brake off. We're going to depart from runway 28 this afternoon, as we are looking up on a little bit of graphical tearing. That issue has leaked over from the Sim Update 10 beta that I was having, and it doesn't seem to have been fixed in the mainline update. So hopefully that's something they can work on. Hopefully that's something they're looking into, because even though it doesn't break the game, it does look ugly and it's kind of annoying. So the wind is pretty strong blowing down the runway. We're going to have a little bit of a crosswind takeoff, but that's nothing unusual for what we've been doing in this area. It's been very, very windy, and we have only had that last flight that was mostly okay and not too bad. So hopefully this won't be as bad as the others, but we're prepared just in case the worst happens. So we'll just taxi down to the end of the runway, turn around, and we'll do our run-up before we take off. Power up the engine here, get to about 1700 RPMs, do our magneto check, check our pressures, and check our oil temperature. Make sure everything is safe for today's flight. Magneto check is okay, no drop. Fuel temperature is in the green, fuel pressure is in the green. Landing lights, nav lights, beacon lights, and strobe lights are all on. Taxi lights are off. Flaps up, departure. Trim is set for takeoff. Go ahead and get lined up with the center. go full power.
Transported from dispatch. Fly safe.
We got some wind gusts right off the start there, so we're going to try to maintain the center line as best as we can. It is pretty rough, it's pretty bumpy. I think I saw winds gusting of about 25 knots, but we're going to climb to 10,500 feet for our long 1 hour plus trip today. Probably going to be about an hour and a half. We'll begin our left turn here, and we will make our climb up to altitude. I knew it was going to be a longer flight than usual today, so I added some extra fuel into NeoFly before departure, but for some reason it doesn't seem to have updated it in the sim. Not quite sure why that didn't happen. We do have about a half a tank of fuel now. We don't seem to be burning too much of it. The winds seem to be in our favor. As long as we can keep up these good conditions, we should have more than enough to get down to Moreland. But there are a couple of stopovers along the way if we need to stop to get some extra fuel, but it's really just kind of unfortunate that happened that way. And hopefully that won't have to happen so that we don't have to waste any more time than we're already using on this mission. The weather is nice up here today. There's not very many clouds and we can see for miles and miles. It could be worse than a little bit of wind that we have. There could be clouds or rain or even snow. We flew over Buffalo a little bit ago and the weather radar was showing that there was 27 knot wind at the field. This 152 would not like that too much, I don't believe. If it was anything like the Beechcraft sport that I was doing my training in, that has a maximum crosswind component of about 25 knots. I don't believe the 152 is any better than that, if at all. The wind won't be a factor at our destination. It's calm with 4-mile-per-hour gusts. So we will sit back and we'll enjoy the view. My sectional chart shows that those mountains up ahead of us top out at 12,400 feet or so. Rather than burning extra fuel to get up over them, we'll just make a left turn, fly for about a mile or two to the south, and get around them and approach Moreland from the east. So we are about 20 miles away from the destination now. We're going to start our descent soon. We will pull up our charts here, take a quick look. you'll see that the airport is directly in front of us. And taking a look at the AFD, we will see that runway 16 is the preferred runway. The winds will be in favor of that. There are also 2 other landing strips that are turf. We don't want to land in the turf because, as we have learned, this plane doesn't like to land or take off on turf. They're quite a bit shorter. Maybe if we had something with more power that was built for off-wheel operations, we could do those. We'll take 1/6, just like the charts tell us to do, and we'll be beginning our descent down to the field pretty soon. We're at 7,500 feet now, and the airport elevation is 4,200 feet, so we'll be leveling out here pretty soon. I've just been messing around with the Tobii head tracker unit that I have. I'm running the latest sim update 11 beta during the run of, well, up until this point, Tobii has not been working. If I minimize the simulator or if I go to another desktop window or whatever, it'll stop working. This beta is supposed to have fixed whatever bug was being experienced with Tobii in the simulator. So far, it seems like it's been working pretty good, so I'm excited about that. But the other issue I've been having was the one we saw at the beginning when we took off with the graphical bugs and the grass poking through the tarmac. That's pretty annoying. It's not a major game-breaking bug like the Tobii bug was. It's also something I'd like to see them get fixed. Maybe they're investigating it now, I'm not sure. It only seems to happen in DirectX 12, which I am running now, and not DirectX 11. But so far, this beta has been working pretty good. I would recommend that everybody upgrades to it. If you're happy with Sim Update 10, please stick with Sim Update 10. But 11 beta is out, and if you're having any issues with Tobii like I was having, this update might be the one that fixes it for you. The airfield in sight. Runways we're looking for are running left to right across the screen, right in front of the cowling. We'll be landing on the right-hand runway, which is number 16. When we get a little bit closer, we'll be making our right-hand turn into the pattern. We're here on our upwind leg. We'll go ahead and do our before landing checklist. Put the mixture full. Pull the carb on. Reduce the power. Keep the nose up. Let the speed come back. Drop 1 knot to flaps as we turn base. Get the speed down. 65 knots. We'll drop flaps 2.
have touchdown. Welcome. Please vacate the runway and proceed to parking.
That was a pretty smooth landing. We started out a little bit high, but we corrected it. We'll continue up to this exit point here. While we're taxiing back to the terminal, I'd like to take this moment to remind you that you are loved and you are important. We all have bad days, but if that cloud over your head just doesn't go away and you feel like you need to reach out to somebody, please call 988 within the United States. Trained counselors are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're outside the United States, you can find your local crisis prevention center hotline by searching on Google. If you just need somebody to talk to listen to you, reach out to a family member or a friend. There is no shame in getting help that you need, or you can reach out to me via social media. Remember that we all have bad days and they will get better. You're not in this alone, and there is no shame at all in how you're feeling. Park over here. We can fuel up before our next flight. And we'll stop right there and
Transport
get the
from
parking brake on.
dispatch. Okay, nice job. Someone is coming to take the cargo. I'll call you when it's done. Transporter from dispatch. The cargo was picked up by the customer. Your mission is completed.
We just got a cool 13 grand for that flight. That's gonna go a long ways towards getting our upgrade. Alright, well that sums up this episode of NeoFly. Thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Leave a comment below if you want to see something or if you have something you would like to say to me. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.